Hey guys, it's Everything Cards, and today I've got a deck review on one of the more popular decks from THEORY11. This is the Monarch deck. I'm sure most of you have seen this deck, especially in this color. This is the most popular color, and the original one that it came out with. And I really like this deck. It's one of their older ones, and it was very successful. And now they have a lot of new colors. So there's this edition, which is the silver. I only have the midnight blue and the silver. And along with the silver, around that time they came out with what they called the white version, and really that's just a name. It looks exactly like the silver one, only it has kind of gold embossing, and it also is going to cost you a lot more. They didn't make very many of the white ones, and now they're really hard to get your hands on. Basically only eBay is going to be the spot, but I really don't think it's worth it because they're pretty much exactly the same as the silver, just kind of overhyped, which is a lot of card companies do that now with producing very limited runs. So let's get started. They also, by the way, they also have a red and a green version, and I think the green and the blue are definitely my favorite, and these cards are available on Art of Play. That's where I get most of my cards, and I'll leave that link in the description box because you guys are always asking where I get my cards. Okay, so first actually I'd like to talk about the box. Usually I just skip over it, but there was actually a lot of thought that went into it. It's embossed and it has a really good or nice kind of papery feel, and there's a lot of detail that went into this box, and I totally appreciate that. It's really cool. THEORY11 has a habit of doing that, and I think it totally adds to all their decks. This is the back design. I'm sure most of you have seen it. Up against the silver. Both of them look really cool. The only complaint I have basically about this entire deck is that I wish the borders were thinner. These cards were made when that really wasn't used very much, thin borders. Lately, pretty much all the decks being produced have thin borders. But yeah, these are the two jokers, very simple. They're wearing crowns, and that goes along with the feel of this deck. The slogan for the Monarchs is "Fit for a King," and so I get the feeling of royalty throughout the entire deck. You get a double backer. Yeah, so the theme of royalty is definitely shown throughout the deck, and I think it really works for these cards. They're luxurious, I would say. I can imagine kind of the king just playing around with these cards, if that's what kings did. This is the Ace of Spades. It's the only fully customized card in the deck. The rest of the faces are normal, except for a slight recoloration. The court cards look a little bit darker. But it's a recoloration that THEORY11 has used before. And same with the silver edition, same exact thing. Okay? Alright. So, that's the look. And you might be thinking that's just a really simple look, no customized court cards. So how is this deck so popular to people? And I think that the reason for that is this is one of the first decks that THEORY11 produced. This, along with like the Sentinels and decks like that, these were the decks that they made when THEORY11 was kind of blowing up. There was that period a few years ago where they were getting really popular, and so a lot of people bought these, and I think that kind of made this deck to what it is now. So people, if you don't have the Monarchs in your collection, I don't really know where you've been. It's kind of one of those decks that fits into everyone's collection. No one's really going to have a problem with this back design. It's very simple and elegant, and I think it looks really nice. And of course the handling is going to be there. It's got the THEORY11 thin and snappy stock, which is really good. And the finish is very smooth, and it's going to last you a long time. So really, there's nothing I can complain about this deck. It looks really good in videos. I know that sounds weird, but it really does. It pops on screen, and it's something that everyone's going to recognize, and I think that is good for videos. So, that's the Monarchs. This was another request by a subscriber, and I say it in every video, but I am always up to doing your requests, so if you have any, just go ahead and leave them in the description, and I'll get to those as soon as I can. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them down below. I read all of them, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.